waters are fast-moving.
Unlike other big rallies,
Bit earlier at about 7 a.m. A group from the Coast Guard.
Welcome to #PHVote 2013.
Day on Rappler. Lim-Napoles confirms to Justice Secretary de Lima 3 senators are involved in the pork barrel scam. A Pew Research study shows Filipinos like the United States more than Americans do. And the death toll from the South Korea ferry tragedy exceeds 100.
Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. Justice Secretary Laila de Lima says alleged pork barrel scam mastermind Lim-Napoles confirms 3 senators are involved in the corruption scandal. De Lima met with Napoles Monday night before Napoles was scheduled for surgery at the Makati hospital. De Lima says a tearful Napoles wanted to become a state witness and tell what she knew about how lawmakers allegedly siphoned public money to fake NGOs in exchange for kickbacks. De Lima says Napoles' upcoming surgery this week motivated her to testify. She adds she sent feelers before the Holy Week. She said she's ready to speak up. She's ready to tell all. The Justice Secretary says Napoles submitted her affidavit and provided more details about the alleged involvement of Senators Juan Ponce Enrile, Bong Revilla, and Jinggoy Estrada in the scam. De Lima also says Napoles implicated more people in the biggest corruption scandal in recent Philippine history. Napoles faces plunder charges over this scam. If admitted as a state witness, she becomes immune from criminal prosecution. But De Lima says the department will have to evaluate Napoles' affidavit first to determine if she can qualify as a state witness. Senator Jinggoy Estrada accuses Justice Secretary de Lima of flip-flopping on the possibility of accepting Lim-Napoles as state witness. He questions de Lima's decision to meet with Napoles Monday night. In February, de Lima was quoted as saying, "She denies everything like the last time when she appeared here in the Senate. Definitely, she will never qualify." Estrada says the meeting between de Lima and Napoles is a sign the Justice Department is bent on pinning down the senators implicated in the scam, Senators Enrile, Revilla, and him. Estrada says it's possible the administration threatened Napoles to convince her to turn against the opposition senators. Estrada, Revilla, and Enrile face plunder charges for allegedly conniving with Napoles to funnel pork barrel funds to her fake NGOs. Napoles is also a respondent in the plunder case. Manila Mayor Joseph Estrada leaves for Hong Kong Tuesday, bringing an undisclosed amount of money as compensation for the families of the 8 Hong Kong tourists who died during the 2010 Manila hostage crisis. That event strained the relationship between the Philippines and Hong Kong. Philippine President Benigno Aquino earlier said there was no need for the Philippines to apologize, something Hong Kong demanded, but Estrada says it's time Philippine officials admit they're at fault. He says there were 8 people who came here to have a vacation but were killed instead. Of course, we should apologize. Those who died were defenseless. A source from the Estrada camp earlier told Rappler the Hong Kong meeting was initiated by Malacanang, although dialogue between Hong Kong and the Philippines was, quote, a joint effort by the Manila local government and the national government. The Supreme Court once again extends the temporary restraining order or TRO on the December 2013 rate hike of Manila Electric Company or Meralco. Leftist legislators asked the court to extend the TRO, saying millions of consumers would be left unprotected if the order is lifted. In February, the court extended its initial TRO, stopping Meralco from implementing its 4 peso and 15 centavo per kilowatt hour rate increase. For the 3rd time, the Sandigan Bayan denies the request of former President Gloria Arroyo to be released on bail because of health issues. The Sandigan Bayan says Arroyo is not, quote, very sick, as her lawyers would like the court to believe. Members of the Special First Division vote 3-2 against granting the motion. The majority says evidence of guilt against Arroyo is strong based on allegations she conspired with former officials of the Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office. Arroyo's original petition was denied in November 2013 and again on appeal last February. Just in time for U.S. President Barack Obama's visit to the Philippines, a study reveals Filipinos like the U.S. more than Americans do. Data from the Pew Research Center's Global Attitudes Project show 85% of Filipinos surveyed have a more favorable view of Americans, higher than the U.S., which came in second with a score of 84%. Overall, the Philippines also has the most favorable view of the United States. Americans themselves did not figure in the top 3 with a favorable view on their own country. Most Filipinos surveyed say the U.S. puts a premium on the Philippines' interest when it comes to international policy. 84% of Filipinos say they have confidence in the U.S. president, in contrast to only 57% of Americans. The Philippines is also among the top 3 countries with high approval of Obama's international policies. 74% of Filipinos express confidence China, quote, will never replace the U.S. as the world's leading superpower. Not surprisingly, 81% of Filipinos see the U.S. as a partner of the Philippines. The death toll from the South Korea ferry tragedy exceeds 100 Tuesday as dive teams continue recovering more bodies from the submerged ship. At least 108 people are confirmed dead, with 194 still missing. Most of the 476 people on board were children on a school trip when the ship capsized and sank last week. Angry relatives demand answers from the captain and crew of the ship, who were among the first to evacuate while hundreds remained trapped. Police detained Captain Lee Jun-suk and several crew members over the disaster. Asked by reporters why only one of the ship's 46 life rafts was used, one crew member says the conditions made it impossible to deploy the rafts. He says, "We tried to gain access to the rafts, but the whole ship was already tilted too much." Well, let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 7, a New York court orders the U.S. government to reveal secret papers justifying drone attacks against suspected terrorists. The case was brought to court by the New York Times following the 2011 drone attacks in Yemen that killed 3 victims, all of whom were U.S. citizens either by birth or naturalization. Human rights groups say the drone strike program lacks clear legal limits, but U.S. officials say the campaigns weakened al-Qaeda's core leadership and reduced the threat of an attack on U.S. soil. At number 8, 55 al-Qaeda members are killed in what has been described as Yemen's unprecedented joint aerial campaign with the United States. Yemen says 3 senior al-Qaeda members are among those killed. The operation targeted and destroyed an al-Qaeda training camp in the rugged mountains of Mahfad using drones. The U.S. considers Yemen's al-Qaeda branch to be the most active in the world. And at number 10, a 16-year-old boy survives freezing temperatures and a lack of oxygen in the wheel well of a Hawaiian Airlines plane. FBI officials say the boy appears to have been unconscious during the entire 5-hour flight. It's extremely rare to survive a flight in a plane's wheel well. Many who try end up freezing to death or dying from a lack of oxygen. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. Microsoft will close its acquisition of Nokia's mobile phone business Friday. In a statement, Microsoft announces the completion of the transaction several months in the making. Microsoft says the deal will, quote, help Microsoft accelerate innovation and market adoption for Windows phones. Once final, Microsoft's first order of business might be to kill off the Nokia brand name altogether. A leaked internal letter supposedly sent by Nokia to its suppliers says, quote, upon the close of the transaction between Microsoft and Nokia, the name of Nokia Corporation will change to Microsoft Mobile. There is no official statement confirming or denying this rumored change. Nokia was once the world's leading cell phone manufacturer, but the company struggled to stay profitable because of the poor showing of its Windows Phone-based Lumia smartphone. The company's biggest challenge was to remain relevant after the iPhone's launch in 2007 ushered in a new age of smartphones. For our social media post of the day, Space Exploration Agency NASA launches its hashtag Global Selfie Project Tuesday. Hashtag Global Selfie is part of NASA's Earth Day celebrations. To join, step outside, take a photo of yourself, and upload it on social media with the hashtag Global Selfie. You see here Christy Kenny, U.S. Ambassador to Bangkok, doing that with her staff. NASA will compile the photos and launch the mosaic in May. Every story on Rappler has a mood meter, which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Click how you feel, and your vote comes down to the mood navigator in the middle of the front page that crowdsources the mood of the day. It also gives you the top 10 stories that have affected our readers and our viewers the most emotionally. If you take a look on the front page, these 10 stories have affected our readers and viewers the most. They've also gotten the most number of votes on the mood meter. We see here, South Korean president, the crew response, you have 29% angry, 58% sad. And again, here you have Napoles, our top story of the day. Napoles wants to be a state witness from the Lima. Interestingly, 28% angry, but larger, 54% are happy. That green bringing out the mood of the day. Today, most people are happy. That is Rappler's newscast for today, Tuesday, April 22, 2014. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.